Coming up on UCF Knightly News, UCF Provost Elizabeth Dooley is on paid administrative leave. Find out how UCF is responding.
A UCF professor takes on a social justice case. See how she is getting her class involved.
E-scooters are a hoot on campus this week, but how safe is this new transportation option?
In sports, UCF women's basketball takes on fourth-ranked UConn. Did the Knights pull off the upset?
Knightly News starts now. Good afternoon and welcome to Nightly News. I'm Sarduy. Today is Friday, January 17th, 2020. There's a lot going on with UCF this week. Jordyn Markhoff is in the studio to tell you the latest developments. Let's jump right in. Jordyn?
Thank you, Armond. We have Nightly News reporter Jayla Wilkes here in the studio to give us an update on the latest with UCF administration. Jayla?
Yes, so Provost Elizabeth Dooley is now on paid administrative leave after a statement was released last Friday by the university. UCF interim president Thad Seymour says, and quote, "She agreed this decision allows her to temporarily step away while we work to fully understand concerns that have been raised. And I appreciate her commitment to cooperate." Elizabeth Dooley serves as UCF's provost and vice president for academic affairs.
Can you give us some background on Dooley's profile?
Sure. So Elizabeth Dooley came to UCF in 2015 and began serving as provost in October of 2018. Prior to her title, she served as interim provost, vice provost for the Division of Teaching and Learning, and also the dean of the College of Undergraduate Studies.
Could you tell us more about who's taking Dooley's place when she's on leave?
Yes, so that would be Jana Jasinski. She's Vice Provost for Faculty Excellence. She's now serving as Acting Provost. She immediately took this role of Provost following Dooley's leave.
And how long has Jana Jasinski been with the university for?
So Jasinski actually began working here at UCF as an assistant professor of sociology in 1999. Since joining faculty, Jasinski's research interest has catered to lethal and non-lethal interpersonal violence, specifically on intimate partner violence, substance abuse, and institutional responses to violence. She began serving as interim vice provost for Faculty of Excellence in July of 2017.
Thank you, Jayla. Students across campus are concerned about Elizabeth Dooley's placement on paid administrative leave. Nightly News reporter Jeremy Brenner has more.
Elizabeth Dooley's placement on paid administrative leave Monday did not affect all of UCF's nearly 70,000 students. Many students I spoke with were unaware of the news regarding the university's provost, including Akila Kandokar, who expressed concerns with UCF's recent history of corruption.
I feel like most students aren't really thinking too much about who is in administration because there's just so much to already be thinking about for our own lives, but especially when it comes to corruption, that should be something that we should be more conscious of.
Dooley is the first female provost in UCF history. International relations student Rania Eid is happy with the female representation in a high position, but is disappointed that the predicament exists.
We don't have a lot of women in leadership positions, and when we finally do, it's like that, so I'm really saddened by that.
Dooley is also the first African-American provost at UCF, and the allegations behind her have freshman Amani Stringer wondering if these claims are racially charged.
I don't want to say that race could be an issue, but you just never know.
In Orlando, Jeremy Brenner, UCF Nightly News.
Nightly News reached out to student government, but they denied an interview on the subject, instead releasing a statement. The statement reads, "We appreciate President Seymour taking these concerns seriously and addressing them. We understand this process will take time. We continue to work with the administration on areas that are high priority for students." And now, NSM Today news editor Jason Beatty is in the studio to tell us a little bit more about administrative shakeup this week. Thanks for being here today, Jason.
Thanks for having me on.
So could you tell us a little bit more about the series of events leading up to Dooley's leave?
Yeah, it was a bit unexpected, kind of came out of nowhere. On last Friday, Joel Hartman announced his retirement, and then later that afternoon, the UCF administration released a statement talking about Dooley being placed on paid leave.
And could you tell us a little bit more about the Twitter account that seems to have some information on some UCF administration?
Yeah, if you didn't know, there's a Twitter account called University of Corruption and Fraud, which, if you couldn't tell, stands for UCF, according to their minds. We don't know exactly who is running the account, but the account seems to have some serious ties to the university, whether it's run by a former employee, that's really unclear right now. But the account started early January, and really was sharing information about Vice President Joel Hartman, about his possible resignation or retirement. And then he did resign or retire, announce his retirement. And then it was really going after Elizabeth Dooley, accusing her of buying things for students, accusing her of changing her resume, and little things like that. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, Interim President Thad Seymour placed Dooley on paid leave. And it's really unclear if those are connected. We requested some information from the General Counsel and a statement from UCF. We haven't gotten back to that. But the timing of the tweets and her being placed on paid leave, there's some sort of connection between those events happening.
All right, thank you so much. And that's all the time we have for this special report. NSM Today and Nightly News will keep you updated on this developing story in the coming weeks. Back to you, Armond.
Thanks, Jordyn. I noticed it wasn't as hot this morning as these past few days. Can we finally bring back those sweaters next week, Milan?
Well, Armand, it's actually looking really nice outside. This morning was looking absolutely beautiful from the top of the Libra garage, and as you can see, campus looked absolutely stunning with clear blue skies. And you know what? Let's actually take a look at what's happening outside right now. Right now, it's only 75 degrees outside with the humidity at 48%, and it's very, very breezy. The winds are coming in at northeast at 28 miles per hour, and the chance of rain is 5%. So today's looking nice. Hopefully, I don't have too much trouble trying to catch my flight later today, but let's go back to you at the desk.
A Florida woman is looking to change her birth certificate from male to female. A UCF law professor is looking to help. UCF law professor Irene Pons, an intercultural legal competence class, offered to take Julie Mayfield's as a project. Mayfield was born intersex and wants to change her birth certificate from male to female. She says she's thrilled to receive help from Pons and her class.
The whole department, everything from faculty to staff all the way down to students, has been absolutely tantamount in this process, but also just in being embraced.
This week, another hearing takes place on Wednesday. Nightly News will keep you updated on this developing story. UCF PD arrested a 19-year-old man for trespassing on campus Saturday. Jacob Tyler Rayleigh was arrested on the Lake Claire housing complex at UCF's main campus. Police say he first trespassed on campus at the end of last semester. Rayleigh was arrested again this semester for trespassing 2 more times. Jonathan Baran is a Lake Claire resident, and he tells Nightly News that he has to watch who he lets inside his dorm.
Means that I always have to be careful who I let into my house, and also to just be aware of my surroundings when I'm going home and leaving my house, and just make sure I know the person before they are allowed into my dorm.
He says their advice for students is to always be aware of their surroundings, and if you see something unusual, alert on-campus officers. Coming up after the break, e-scooters arrive for their first week at UCF. See how the use has impacted campus. And do you have the button up next week? Milan has more. Stay tuned.
Don't adjust your screens. You just saw our weather anchor, Milan Martínez, and producer Carolina Tessuto testing some new methods of transportation earlier today. Spin scooters are finally on UCF's main campus. Student government partnered with Spin to bring 300 e-scooters to campus after ending its partnership with Lime Bikes. Nightly News reporter Cierra shows us how the launch of the e-scooters compared to other transportation options on campus.
Student government and Spin kicked off the launch with a tabling event Monday. SG and Spin representatives were at the event giving information on e-scooters and their goals for the semester. I caught up with Spin's senior operations manager, John Carlos de Jesus, who told me why the scooters are a good fit for UCF's campus.
But this is the first campus in Florida. We're really excited about it. This campus really lends itself to scooters too. It's really flat. It's a lot of distance to big campus, so we're really excited to be launching here.
SG says it chose to make the switch from Lime Bikes to Spin because Lime decided not to renew their contract with UCF. Compared to the launch of Lime Bikes, Spin brought 300 scooters to campus, while Lime brought double that amount. However, students seem to enjoy the scooters just as much as they enjoyed the bikes. While these scooters are the newest mode of transportation, students are still finding other ways to get around. In addition to using the scooters, students continue to use other transportation methods like the SG Bike Share. Student government says it wanted to use those scooters as complements to the other modes of transportation, instead of taking away from it. Safety and Transportation Coordinator Emmett Davey says SG plans on expanding the bike share.
We're actually looking into buying them additional bikes so that students really have the option of different modes of transportation. If they want to scoot, they can. If they want to bike, they can. Just providing all of the options.
Spin hopes to bring more scooters to campus in the coming weeks. In Orlando, Cierra, UCF Nightly News.
Spin says it wants to bring a total of 750 scooters to UCF, depending on the demand. You can download the Spin app on an Android and iPhone to start riding.
If you choose to ride an e-scooter, stay safe. Some incidents involving e-scooters have been reported around campus. On your screen right now is an accident that occurred yesterday on Aquarius Drive between the Visual Arts Building and the Nicholson School of Communication and Media. The person injured said he tumbled on a rock and fell on the concrete. First responders were on the scene, but did not require any additional assistance. Safety is a major concern for UCF when breaking in the new modes of transportation on campus. UCF and Spin encourages to use a helmet when riding a scooter. The rules of the road and watch out for pedestrians. Student government recommends one person per scooter at a time. Biomedical major Sahil Kapadia says it was hard to brake on e-scooters when riding them. Biomedical major Sahil Kapadia says it was hard to brake on e-scooters when riding them.
With the Lime Bikes, I think it was a little easier to ride them. Like yesterday when we were riding them, me and my friends definitely noticed like certain areas in the school you can like go faster on on the scooters, and it was definitely like hard to brake and turn.
UCF PD says the person that was injured yesterday was not a UCF student. He was simply there on campus to visit his girlfriend.
I'm just going to say. Coming up after the break, see what UCF is doing to provide aid to Puerto Rico in the wake of the recent earthquakes.
Well, scooters are the newest thing on campus, but what are your opinions on it?
So we actually decided to ask some of our UCF students what they thought of the new e-scooters on campus, and here were some of their responses.
Yeah, and in my personal opinion, I don't really like the scooters because I don't want to fall down, break a nose, break an arm, anything like that. And I see that, more kids or students are saying they're kind of dangerous, but more are saying yes, and they're asking for more charging stations.
Yeah, many students are already starting to get injuries, but some of them also think that they're super fun.
Right.
Coming up after the break, see what UCF is doing to provide aid in Puerto Rico in the wake of the recent earthquakes.
Plus, find out which women's soccer players will go to the pros. Puerto Rico is still recovering after another aftershock hit Wednesday. The American Red Cross reports there are thousands without water and power. UCF Knightly News reporter Tiana Sconiers tells us what students and UCF Orlando residents are doing to help.
Puerto Rico is still reeling after a series of earthquakes left thousands without water and power. The Puerto Rican Student Association at UCF began fundraising and collecting donations for the island. The vice president of operations says, although she is safe in Orlando, she is still worried about her family in Puerto Rico.
It's very overwhelming seeing how they have this nervousness all the time because they don't know when it's going to happen, and just it's very hard, but thank God I've been able to talk with them, and that makes me feel better.
Latino Leadership, an Orlando-based nonprofit, is collecting items for families affected and displaced. Maritza Sands said the volunteers are collecting everyday items such as hairbrushes, sunscreen, and toys for children.
Our partner organization there in Puerto Rico, and she said, Maritza, there is no more mosquito repellent. The people are getting very sick. So it's urgent that we reach the island.
Despite Puerto Rico's current struggles, Yolimar Garayalde, the president of the Puerto Rican Student Association, said they will overcome.
I've learned through that experience, grew so much, and we all learned, and we all got united so much that right now we're stronger than ever to go and overcome any obstacles in our way.
In Orlando, Tiana Sconiers, UCF Nightly News.
About relief efforts.
Are you excited for the long weekend, Armond?
I absolutely am. It's nice to have a little break, and I might take time to visit my grandma and catch a little men's basketball on Saturday.
Well, I might be going to Miami this weekend, so I'm really hoping for some good weather. What could you tell us about the weather, Milan?
Guys, we're going to take a quick look at the highs and lows before I get into the weather for this weekend. Right now, it's 70 degrees in Tallahassee. In Jacksonville, it's 63. In Tampa, it's a warm 79. And in Orlando, it is 73. And in Miami, luckily for you, Jordyn, it's 76 right now. So real quick, we're going to go over the lows just to see what we can expect. And in Tallahassee, it's 50 degrees. And the low for Jacksonville is 55, Tampa is 60, Orlando is just a degree higher at 61, and Miami is sitting at a warm 69. So you're going to have great weather this weekend, Jordyn. Now let's take a look at your 5-day forecast for you guys. So guys, what we can expect for Saturday. Saturday is going to be a warm 76 degrees for a high and a low of 60 degrees with, just a little precaution of 5% chance of rain. Sunday is going to be 76 degrees with a very nice low of 57 with a 30% chance of rain. So you might want to carry that umbrella around with you just to be on the safe side. Monday is a high of 61 with a nice breezy 42 degrees for a low and a 20% chance of rain. So again, might want that umbrella. And for Tuesday is actually looking really nice as well. For that Monday MLK weekend, though, you're going to have a nice time, and it's going to be, relatively sunny. Enjoy the weather. Maybe grab a jacket. Just have a really great time. For Tuesday, it's going to be a high of 57 and a low of 44 with a 5% chance of rain. Same percent chance of rain for Wednesday with a high of 63 and a low of 51. And I myself am very excited for this weekend. I can't wait to spend time with my family. Just have a really nice time. Enjoy some time outside. Maybe even cozy up at night and watch some Netflix. Who knows? Let's see what the weekend has in store for us. But back to you guys at the desk.
Coming up after the break, find out if the women's basketball team was able to knock off Connecticut last night.
Stay tuned after the break.
We are out. Great job.
Welcome back, Knight fans. My name is Cierra and here's the latest news on UCF sports. Just a week after UCF men's soccer stars Cal Jennings and Jonathan Dean were drafted, the UCF women's soccer team's own star had her time to shine. Konya Plummer was selected by the Orlando City Pride as the 10th pick in the second round of the NWSL draft. Plummer finished the season as the Defensive Player of the Year in the American Athletic Conference and was named the first team all-conference. The Orlando Pride also signed Carrie Lawrence for the 2020 season. The two will continue their careers with the Pride in this spring. The UCF women's basketball fell short versus the 4th-ranked UConn Huskies. The Knights lost 59-52 against the Huskies. This is the second-ranked team to beat the Knights this season. Knights guard KK Wright led the team with 18 points, but she shot only 7 for 22 from the field. Knights head coach Katie Abrahamson Henderson was happy to see so many fans come out from all over the state despite the loss.
That's important that we really sell our product too within the state, and we had a lot of good teams and high school coaches and all kinds of people here. So that's really going to help us down the line with recruiting.
Their next game when they take on the USF Bulls in the Warren I-4 Sunday. On the men's side, UCF men's basketball is celebrating a big birthday. The program will honor the 50th anniversary of its inaugural team tomorrow during its game against USF. The first basketball team at UCF played just 14 games in its opening season, winning 11 of those games. Head coach Torchy Clark will go on to coach the first 14 seasons here in Central Florida, winning 274 games, still a UCF record. Coach Clark passed away in 2009, but members of the team will be in attendance tomorrow night. Tip-off is at 7 p.m. That's all the time for sports this week. Back to Jordyn and Armond.
So I'm very excited. I'm super excited to visit my grandma and catch up on sleep this weekend.
Yeah, I definitely need this long weekend. I am super excited to hopefully get some really nice weather also outside. And what are you looking forward to?
Well, I know there's a men's basketball tomorrow. Of course, visit my grandma. I haven't seen her in 2 weeks. And also, like I said, catch up on sleep.
All right, that's all the time we have for now. Thanks for joining us. Remember, you can always keep up with us during the week on our Instagram at UCF Knightly News.
And if you got a story idea you want us to know about, send it our way. You can reach us at ucfnightlynews@gmail.com. Thanks for watching and have a great day.